New friends, new opportunities, new partners, EG Tax.
Hi everybody, I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax, and this is Ask the Tax Lady, where we're out in the field with your questions and we're going to answer them for you. We do this every Tuesday on WBBZ, and if you're interested in taxes this time of year, who isn't? You know, you want to make sure you get every dollar that's you're entitled to. You can also join us on WBEN Saturdays from 3 to 4, and you can call in and ask a tax question. But during the week, if you have any questions, you can also call any of our 30 area branch offices or go to our website at egtax.com and put in your question to Ask the Tax Lady. I have Christopher Fabian, Tiffany Fabian. They're here from EG Tax, and we're going to help you with your tax questions on the other side. So you probably know the federal government has restricted your taxes and itemized deductions. Bad news for New Yorkers, but how did the state compensate? All those deductions that are eliminated or restricted on the federal are still deductible on New York State. Complicated? True. A double set of rules? True. But it's a great big benefit when you do your New York State return. EG Tax is your hometown tax team, and we want to work hard for you. This year, come join our family. Ever notice how people are always changing their hairstyles and colors? Some are better than others, but all of them take time to get used to. Well, taxes are like that too. It seems like Congress can't keep the same tax laws in place long enough for us to get used to it. And this year is really no exception. There's over 450 tax form changes and thousands of new computations. This change affects everyone. This year, come join our family. Why is it when we think of our family, we always do what's best for them? Like when there's a problem with your kid's teeth, you call the orthodontist. Problem with the car? Call the mechanic. So why, with the largest tax law change in decades, would you even think about preparing your own tax return yourself? A mistake could cost you thousands. EG Tax has studied these tax law changes since their inception. We're going to work hard to make sure you get the biggest refund possible. This year, come join our family.
Attention real estate investors. Thinking of buying or selling real estate investment property? Call R.J. Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists at 716-675-1500 or visit them online at rjgullo.com. For a free consultation when buying or selling real estate investment property or to pay no tax through a 1031 exchange, let R.J. Gullo Companies put their 40 years of experience to work for you. Call R.J. Gullo Companies at 716-675-1500 or visit them online at rjgullo.com.
I'm attorney Dennis Kitchen. Now is a good time to look at your finances and your debts. How much debt do you have right now? If you don't know, or if you don't want to know, it may be too much. Isn't it time that you talk to an attorney about a fresh start? I've been helping many people in debt over the years, and I don't charge for an initial consultation about debts. Call for a free consultation. I'm Dennis Kitchen, and I'd like to help.
I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're here to talk taxes. We want to help you to make sure that you get every dollar you're entitled to, that you think correctly about your how to do your tax return. Because I'll tell you, if you make a mistake, you can get the right answer mathematically, but get the wrong answer as far as your refund or balance due. So we want to help you with that because taxes are complicated. And I'm joined in studio, of course, with Christopher Fabian, Tiffany Fabian. They're married, son-in-law, daughter-in-law. Can you imagine how boring it is at Christmas time in our family? We talk taxes over the Christmas tree.
My kids love it.
And the first of the year and birthdays and Easter and your kids love it?
No,
yeah,
being facetious.
Yeah, they hate taxes. They've always hated taxes. All right, but we're talking taxes. Of course, we have a brand new relocated office in Wright's Corners.
Right, we do.
Our corporate headquarters moved to 1890 Colvin
Yep,
by
we
the
have
Blue
a
Airplane.
New location by the
Brighton and Colvin. Our former corporate headquarters, 2475 Niagara Falls Boulevard, is now a branch office. We have a great staff over there as well. And we moved over in Niagara Falls from the fashion outlet to right around Wegmans.
Right in the
So,
Wegmans Plaza.
Right in Wegmans Plaza.
And it's a great location, large, and you'll like all the new locations.
Right, and when you go, if you have any questions about our phone numbers and things, you can go to our website, at egtax.com. Okay, our roving reporter, Dom, is out in the field. Mr. Dominic, what's the first question?
We were lucky this year and sold a rental property, giving us $250,000 in additional income, plus our small business has a net profit of $300,000. Our accountant says we probably won't get the pass-through deduction. Can you explain how that works?
Well, it depends
Okay.
it depends if it was a business, the rental, right?
Well, no, I mean, it depends on what their business code is,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because under the, and this change is very wonderful because of the 20% pass-through, but not everybody's going to get it. So the 20% pass-through deduction is after your standard deduction, personal exemptions, adjustment to income, then you get a 20% pass-through. It's allowable if you're married filing a joint return and your income is up to $350,000, then there's a $100,000 phase in, bringing it to $450,000. And so it sounds like this person would be more like $550,000.
Yep.
Right? Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get the pass-through, but it means that your pass-through is computed differently.
But
Whereas,
what if their rental wasn't treated as a business?
Well,
Well,
I-
this is a
I've-
gain, this isn't, this is
Okay.
they
Right.
sold
Okay.
it.
they
so
sold
Okay,
it, right.
okay, gotcha.
So here's the thing.
So they were up to
If there
$550.
is if it's not a service business, like a stockbroker, tax accountant, attorney, dentist, medical person, if they do widgets, if they have a manufacturing company, if they have a retail store, then even though their income's over the 450, they still will qualify for either the 20% pass-through or a computation of their wages that they pay or a deduction of their assets that they have. So it'd be a computation of one of the three, so it gets to be very complicated.
Well, that's a mouthful.
You know,
Yeah, well, I always have a lot to say.
I'm hoping this accountant has either a solo 401k for them, a SEP for them, because you could put away, an SEP, if he's over 50, can put away 17,000, but the solo 401k, he may be able to put up to like $45,000 to $50,000 away, which would decrease his income,
Right.
which could put him, I mean, there's different
But
tools
the
and
thing is, if he's got employees,
then, right,
then it wouldn't be a solo, right?
right.
It'd have to be just a
Yeah,
401.
but I mean,
the whole
there's-
thing is, obviously, when you're out in the field asking a question, this is complicated.
Yep.
And you need to linger, and those of you that with businesses, you need to linger with your accountant. Make sure that you got all the angles figured out, because it's a big deduction and the computation is
Yeah.
it can be very onerous.
And don't forget, before they sold the rental, they could have explored the option of doing a real estate exchange, but now they have the money and it's too late. So there's options. So always make
There
a
is,
phone call
you know,
before you
once the
move
tax
around
year's
those
over,
dominoes.
we can't do much, right? I mean, it is what it is. That's why,
Books.
when it's not tax time, it's good to talk to us, because you'd be surprised what we can do,
Yep.
or what's available to you. Okay, Don, what else we got?
My husband and I have a mortgage with a balance due of $100,000 and a home equity loan of the same amount. We use the home equity money to put an addition on the house, which costs $50,000, and then the rest of the money we use to pay off our son's college debt. Are we okay for a mortgage deduction?
Well, so the law is under the tax reform, the federal, we have tax reform, New York State, we go back to the old law. And so under the tax reform for the federal, you can take your primary mortgage and you can take home equity up to debted acquisition.
Indebtedness or remodeling indebtedness. So only half of the home equity is going to be
Allowable.
Allowable,
The one,
right,
the
on the
other
federal.
half,
Yep.
the other half that they use for sons paying off their student loans will not be allowable. So under the tax reform for the federal, half is potentially allowable. The other half that they use for their sons' college is not allowable.
But on New York State,
It's all
all
allowed.
deductible.
And-
But this makes it very difficult when you're doing your return, because you have to really ask yourself, this mortgage debt, how did this come to be?
Yep.
These mortgages that I'm paying. Oh, well, this was to buy the house. deductible
And
on
that-
both the federal and the state. Oh, this is a home equity. How did I come up with this home equity? Oh, it was to put on that $40,000 addition. That's deductible. Oh, we also bought a car with 20. Not deductible. However, on New York State, it is deductible. So you have to actually go back and analyze
Right.
how you came up with this debt.
And then don't forget the mom and dad, if their name was tied to that student loan, if the student loan company could go after their assets, they could potentially write off $2,500 of that student loan interest if, again, they were owned and tied to that student loan. So don't forget the student loan.
But not if they paid it off, though.
Right, but if
But
you
there's
paid it,
probably
there's
still
still
some
probably some
interest.
interest. And so don't
Yeah,
forget
right,
about
student loan interest is still deductible.
It's still
It's
deductible.
We do have a nice worksheet on our website to help you with your mortgage interest. So before you come into your tax
you
person,
can
whether it's us,
find
somebody
out.
else, you can download it and fill it in and
Because it just isn't just getting that form anymore, and you look at it and go, oh, okay, this is deductible. It is not necessarily deductible.
But it is on New York.
But on
State.
New York State, it's all deductible. All right, so Dom, what we're gonna do is, this will be too complicated to talk about right now, so I think what we're gonna do prior to the break, we'll just talk about our offices. We have 30 area offices to serve you.
Right.
We've relocated our corporate headquarters from Niagara Falls Boulevard over to 1890 Colvin.
Yep.
We relocated the Niagara Fashion Outlet
Yep.
to,
to the Wegmans Plaza right across the street.
and then Wright's Corners.
Wright's Corners, we're right by Tops. Got to plug both grocery stores.
Right. Oh, that's right, to be fair. The only
And we
office that's
still
open,
have 2475 Niagara Falls Boulevard, which was our old home for 15 or 16 years. That's one of our satellite offices, staffed with great staff, so that still
Absolutely.
exists.
And the only office that's open on Sunday is the McKinley Mall.
McKinley Mall.
Right?
Yep.
Yep.
So we kind of moved out of those
Well,
mall offices.
a lot of, like, the Eastern Hills Mall is becoming like a business complex. I mean.
Yeah, well, malls are having a tough time.
Yeah,
They really
yeah.
have, but here's the thing, if you're in the middle of the night, slaving over your tax return and you got any tax questions, you can go to our website at egtax.com, ask the tax lady. You can actually ask me a question in the middle of the night and you'd be surprised. If I hear my machine go off, I get up and answer the tax question. So, I mean, we are here to help you. We have people that are in our branch offices that'll help you. We have our website that'll help you. You can call corporate, we'll help you with your tax questions. The thing is, the biggest tax changes in history, just about, in decades at least, happened this last year. It is not easy. There are lots of things that affect your tax return, and we want to make sure that you get everything that you're entitled to. Again, we want to get everything you're entitled to. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the other side. So you probably know the federal government has restricted your taxes and itemized deductions. Bad news for New Yorkers, but how did the state compensate? All those deductions that are eliminated or restricted on the federal are still deductible on New York State. Complicated? True. A double set of rules? True. But it's a great big benefit when you do your New York State return. EG Tax is your hometown tax team, and we want to work hard for you. This year, come join our family. Ever notice how people are always changing their hairstyles and colors? Some are better than others, but all of them take time to get used to. Well, taxes are like that too. It seems like Congress can't keep the same tax laws in place long enough for us to get used to it. And this year is really no exception. There's over 450 tax form changes and thousands of new computations. This change affects everyone. This year, come join our family. Why is it when we think of our family, we always do what's best for them? Like when there's a problem with your kid's teeth, you call the orthodontist. Problem with the car? Call the mechanic. So why, with the largest tax law change in decades, would you even think about preparing your own tax return yourself? A mistake could cost you thousands. EG Tax has studied these tax law changes since their inception. We're going to work hard to make sure you get the biggest refund possible. This year, come join our family.
Attention real estate investors. Thinking of buying or selling real estate investment property? Call R.J. Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists at 716-675-1500 or visit them online at rjgullo.com. For a free consultation when buying or selling real estate investment property or to pay no tax through a 1031 exchange, let R.J. Gullo Companies put their 40 years of experience to work for you. Call R.J. Gullo Companies at 716-675-1500 or visit them online at rjgullo.com.
I'm attorney Dennis Kitchen. Now is a good time to look at your finances and your debts. How much debt do you have right now? If you don't know, or if you don't want to know, it may be too much. Isn't it time that you talk to an attorney about a fresh start? I've been helping many people in debt over the years, and I don't charge for an initial consultation about debts. Call for a free consultation. I'm Dennis Kitchen, and I'd like to help.
Hi, I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, and we're here on Ask the Tax Lady talking to people out with tax questions. And so we just had a lady ask about her pension. All right, so
Her
her husband just retired.
Right, congratulations.
So the first thing we need to know is,
Other
well, actually
income.
two things, his age and where did he retire from,
Right. Was it a government entity or a state or municipality? Because then if it is, all of it is tax-free on New York State. If it wasn't a government municipality or federal municipality, then $20,000 is tax-free on the state. And then the next thing we'd want to know about is all the other income, and are they starting to get Social Security?
Right, because that's the big question a lot of people have. If you're under 65, should I start taking my Social Security now, or should I wait? Because, you know, that 8% a year is growing and growing, and that sounds really good. But what people don't realize is a bird in the hand is worth
two in the bush. It's
way more
interesting.
than two in the bush.
It's interesting. I had somebody the other day. I was listening to somebody say, you know, you got a plan to live as opposed to plan to die. But the reality is,
We're going
We're all gonna
we
die.
all have a certain lifespan. It takes approximately, all the money that you're letting Social Security keep, it takes approximately 15 years past age 75 to 85 to break even.
Yep.
All right? So, I mean, but certainly you want to talk to a Social Security specialist, or you can give us a call. But the bottom line with our lovely lady is, if her husband's over the age of 59 and a half, then it's going to be completely, the first $20,000 tax-free on the state, unless he retired from a New York State municipality or federal pension. All of it's tax-free on the state in that case, and on the federal, it's completely taxable. But remember, it can affect the taxability of their Social Security.
And then they ask a really good question, because we get these questions all the time. They have to plan. He wants to know what he and she want to know what they should have for withholding. So the truth is, it could be tax-free on the state, but where the withholdings come in play are the federal. And so they're going to want to do 10% withhold on the federal, 15% withheld on the federal. And under the tax reform that we're experiencing right now, the amount that they're going to have withheld is probably going to be a lot less than it would have been in other years, because they lowered the tax tables.
And the other thing is, depending upon how much, and she didn't mention how much she and her husband are getting, but if they're getting a modest pension, maybe $5,000 or $6,000 a year, and maybe he goes and gets a part-time job, and they're under the age of 65, what would they get?
Earned
The
income.
earned income credit. Right.
So
Right.
send them off.
I mean,
send them off for that little part-time job.
There's so many variables.
But
and
of course, if she would give us a call, we'll be happy to tax plan with her. And of course, the other thing is their health insurance.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Until
a big determination on
another
retiring.
Yeah.
And of course, EG Tax has EG Health Connect, and we're very happy to help you with your health insurance as well. Okay, Don, what else do we have?
We had a question from Sam from Tonawanda. My mother wants to put her house in my name because she is afraid of nursing home taking it. Can they actually do that? What is the tax consequences for me if she does that?
Oh, so putting
Okay.
the house in her name.
So putting the house in your children's name will protect it from nursing home, but there's a great way to do it without making it so that the children ultimately would have to pay taxes in the event that they decide to sell it prior to the death of the parents, and that would be with the life estate.
That's exactly right. The beauty of the life estate is if you gift the house to somebody, then it goes back to mom and dad's original basis. Whereas if you inherit it, they get the stepped up basis. And so the life estate sort of does that inheritance work for you without them having to go back to the original basis. So a life estate, and we have a great life estate and elder care lawyer, that's Jeff Katz, and I really think they should explore the life estate, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely, definitely, because the nursing home, you know, and people don't realize there's the 5-year look back. What happens in that 5 years, even with the life estate, is if it's year 3 and then mom goes into the nursing home, and she has to be private pay for 2 years before Medicaid will
Possibly. Yeah,
you
depending
know.
upon her assets, yeah.
Yep. But that's what that 5-year look back
It's
does,
so
is to see
important.
how many years of private pay she still may have
Yeah.
left. So you really got to do planning. You need Jeff Katz or somebody like that who knows that area of
Right.
law. Don't, I have a lawyer, they know it. They may not know.
Well, you really have to start moving assets, changing ownership, moving titles, looking at trusts. Those are all things that, that you have to do if you're looking at protecting assets
Yep.
from a nursing home.
And another thing is if somebody happens to gift you the house, again, it goes back to the original basis. And so we've said this time and time again, and Esther said it, Chris has said it, but make sure your records are in good order. So I think Esther has
Well, in
alluded to the
case
fact.
you don't know, you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And so
Right?
if you put on.
Don't just say, I talked to Wilma over the fence. Wilma over the fence is not the best person to talk to. Okay, let's go back. What do we have?
I was thinking of starting a business, snow plowing and landscaping. What should I look out for? What should I keep track of? My father said I should incorporate. What's the benefits of that? Sorry for all the questions. Should I just call?
Well, calling is a good idea, but, okay, so.
He's starting a business.
The most important thing is to get all your ducks in a row. You've got to make sure you get your insurances. Are you going to have an employee? If you have employees, setting up your payroll correctly, making sure that you get your sales tax deduction for New York State, making sure that you have your bookkeeping all set and all your records ready in the event of an audit. All of these things that you need to do when you're setting up a business to make sure that you are in compliance.
Yeah.
Right. And
Money
report
in, going
all
out.
your income.
Right.
I mean, don't think, I'm going to save money. I'm not going to report $3,000 of this money. Report all your income. It's better to be honest, because when they come knocking and they see there's cash, they can add imputed income. And people don't realize they can go and look, well, sir, we think you cost $80,000 for you to live this year. You're only claiming $30,000.
How did you live on the rest?
Right, so
where
we're
did the
going
money
to
come
add
from?
$50,000 to your income.
Right,
And
and
I-
if you've been cheating, it's tough to stand your ground, more or less, because you know that you haven't been doing
Yeah.
things right.
I think one of the best tips that I got from Esther one time when I was talking to somebody who started a business is money in, money out. So keep track of all your money in and all the expenses that you pay. And a
And-
separate bank account is really an easy way to do that.
Don't commingle.
Yeah.
And, the question was, should I incorporate?
That-
You absolutely
In
should.
the snow plowing business,
Right.
you need that
You
extra
either have to
shield.
do an LLC or incorporate, because
Protect
if you
yourself.
accidentally knock down the building or some asset, you want to make sure that your assets are protected.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't do a limited liability company or a corporation, it means that they can go after you personally.
Right.
And so, yes, it's slightly more complicated to do it. But ultimately, after you do it for 1 year, after you do the paperwork and everything, you're going to find that being a corporation or an LLC is the best way to handle it, because it's like getting a free insurance policy.
And then, of course, the first year, usually I see this time and time again, they'll have a loss. But down the road, if they have a profit, they're going to get the 20% pass-through. And so that's something that
And
you're
the- and the
entitled to if
other
you
thing is-
incorporate it or you don't.
If you aren't using a bookkeeping system like QuickBooks or something like that, you can stop in at our corporate office here at 1890 Colvin, and we'll be very happy to give you a bookkeeping book. And there's no
Yep,
charge.
no charge.
It shows you how to keep track of your income per month and all of your expenses per month. And then it's so wonderful because there it is, you know. And I know a lot of times snowplow guys say, I don't like doing books, and so as a result, they just throw everything in a garbage bag, and actually can bring that into us, and we'll do the bookkeeping for you. We
Right.
have a bookkeeping department,
Yep,
right?
love to help you.
We do.
Love to help you. And I will tell you, it is not, the most important thing is getting all your insurances, get your sales tax number. You have to make sure that you're doing everything correctly, because in the event of an audit, you would be very sad if you don't. Right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We have 30 area offices to serve you. Our offices are open 9 to 9 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. We have one office that's open on Sunday during mall offices that's in McKinley Mall. If you have questions, you can call any of our branch offices. You can go to our website and go to Ask the Tax Lady. We'll be very happy to help you. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the other side.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I knew he could focus on you, so I was telling them there was a delivery guy. I
knew
wasn't
there
sure.
was, what's a gaming chair?
They're preparer chairs.
Oh,
Oh,
gaming
you could play
chairs.
poker.
Thinking,
Chris, I might a little better.
Huh?
Talking about the pension or something, and then Chris said, oh, we're all going to die.
Oh, why do you say
They're all
that?
going to die. Oh, at one point you said life, yeah,
Right,
okay.
right.
Oh, life
Inevitable.
Life expectancy.
Oh,
we're
life
all gonna
expectancy.
die.
Well, you
All
said
right,
We're
are
all
you
gonna
ready?
die. The world is ending now.
We are going to die. All right, ready?
Wait, can you still hear me? Because I moved it down a little to hide it.
Jesus is coming back first,
And
maybe.
happy.
Hey, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. This is Ask the Tax Lady, where we weekly on WBBZ entertain your tax questions with our roving reporter. And if you'd like to be part of our show on Saturdays, we're on WBEN radio from 3 to 4, where you can call in. But in the meantime, if you just have a quick question, you can go to our website at egtax.com, ask the tax lady. We're very happy to help you, or call any of our branch offices. Until next week, if you are in a quandary, we hope you think about EG Tax. Our fees are more than half less than our national competitors. We have a full guarantee. We back our work. We do a great job. We know taxes, and we want to help you. So until next week, I'm Esther Golias with Tiffany Fabian, Christopher Fabian from EG Tax. We'll see you next week. One more.
One more.
One more,
And look at, we
hallelujah.
could have done,
All of them
8.
on Saturday.
we're so much better when we don't do 8.
Okay, we're still rolling, so I'm in a hurry.
All right.
So I don't have to get up.
Ready? Dom?
Ready, and act.
Hey, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, and this is Ask the Tax Lady, our weekly TV show on WBBZ, where we have our roving reporter out in the field, and he's contacting you to find out what your questions are. You're welcome to join our radio show on Saturdays on WBEN from 3 to 4, where you can call in and become part of the show. But in the meantime, I think you'll find that we really chew up these questions that the taxpayers have, and hopefully there'll be something that affects you and your taxes when you watch the show. And so join us while we're getting ready to have Dominic go out in the field. I'm Esther Golias from EG Tax. We have 30 area offices to serve you. We're open 9 to 9 Monday through Friday and 9 to 5 on Saturday. We'll be back on the other side.